episode 22. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Autism Quality of Life podcast. Today I have with me Dr. Alisha Griffth, who is a trained autism and communication expert as an audiologist and speech-language pathologist. She is also the mother of Zachary, her bright and extraordinary son who is on the autism spectrum. Zachary inspired her to write her Amazon bestseller, Au-mazing Gift, A Journey to Autism Acceptance. Dr. Alisha is also a maverick for change, a transformational speaker, and a breakthrough and ignite coach, and a consultant with a unique method to support anyone who is connected with autism. Alisha, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing super. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's so great to chat with you. Thanks for coming on the show. So can you fill in some gaps from that intro?
Oh, boy. Filling in the gaps. Usually when I hear the intros, I'm always so amazed that I do all of that. One of the most, I think the coolest gap that I'd like to throw in is that I'm a black belt in martial arts, in jiu-jitsu. Yes, so I think that has helped me with my strategies and techniques that are unique, because incorporating all the audiology and the speech pathology and having, of course, Zachary as his mom, being an autism mom, that part of being a martial artist, I think, really built my tenacity and my boldness with how I approach things in life.
Oh, wow. Yeah, definitely. How long have you been doing martial arts for?
I actually started it as soon as he was born. So he's 11, and at my 3-month clearance of having him, I started kickboxing initially to lose weight. And then since I was doing kickboxing in a dojo, I said I might as well learn self-defense. And then I kept pushing myself for more. And within time, I became a black belt in the system in jiu-jitsu.
Wow. That's an incredible accomplishment on its own, and I'm sure that definitely has carried over into your work, like you said. You've been able to accomplish a whole number of things throughout your life. Would you mind kind of diving into your journey with autism and so where that has taken you now?
So my journey with autism initially was very tough, and it was, I'll be honest, it was hard just grasping the fact that even though I was in the field as an audiologist and speech pathologist, that my son, when I started to see him do the signs, the physical signs of autism, with lining up his trains, with twirling, with lack of eye contact, it was challenging for me to actually switch from being a speech pathologist working with families with children with autism to being a mom with autism. So many would think that would be an easy switch. You work with them, you see them every day, so now you're just coming home to one that's on the spectrum. And it wasn't so. I went through the same stages of depression and anxiety, of anger, of hurt, bargaining. And it took a while for me to actually get to the point of acceptance. So what actually helped me with acceptance was really looking for programs that I needed for him to do. So my first program, which I started, which is So Smart Kids, was formed, which is a socialization martial arts therapy, acronym for socialization martial arts therapy, and then kids, so Smart Kids. And it was really created because I was looking for a martial arts program to help him, because he had all of this energy and excitement that he didn't know where to challenge it. And I thought about my own self and my energy. How did I challenge it? I challenged it. I was able to displace it and place it in the dojo. So I was like, if I can find a place like this for him, it would help him to concentrate and focus. And I couldn't find one that did it to the level of where I also wanted them to have the kids socialize together. You know, I found one-on-one programs where they would go in and they would do martial arts, but they missed the aspect of socialization, which was such a key thing for me as a speech therapist. So I created one. And as I created one, and I began speaking more to parents and helping them to come and join the program, I realized that as I was speaking to them, I was actually helping myself. So the more I spoke about it, the more I started telling people about the program and telling them about Zachary and how it has helped him, how it was helping him. It was helping me to speak more out about autism and to understand that, these individual, unique creatures, they are so special in how they interact and how they respond. And as I was speaking to parents and they were expressing to me their issues, and even though I was doing it as a speech therapist, this was different. It just took on a different realm where they listened to me more because I wasn't a speech therapist. They listened to me because I was a mom. And I was experiencing the same thing they were experiencing. So that actually began my process towards acceptance. And throughout So Smart Kids, and then me developing as a business person and realizing my own unique gifts, it led me straight into coaching other parents and into developing a training program for them where I was helping them with how to deal and handle and shift their mindset. And all through this process, even up to today, because acceptance just doesn't happen, it's there, boop, bop, done. You're accepted, and that's it. Mm-hmm. We still go through periods of days when it becomes, when it's harder to do the acceptance. I may have a higher level of acceptance now, but the more I speak about it, the more I talk about it, the more I embrace it, the more I help others, I'm actually helping myself.
Yeah, I think that's so wonderful that you were able to find more peace and acceptance within yourself by helping others and in turn really impacting so many other families. In terms of what you're looking forward to this coming year, I know you have a few different projects and initiatives going on. What's coming up later in 2017 for you?
So I'm so excited that I ended 2016, which was my 40th birthday present to myself.
Ooh.
I was able to publish Au-mazing Gift, A Journey to Autism Acceptance, which was my first book. It's my bestseller. It became, Amazon bestseller. And that really catapulted me into the programs that I created. So after the book, I was able to create the video series that went along with the book. So that is available. But then I had parents coming up to me asking, okay, how do I work with you? And yes, I have my individual coaching programs where I work individually with parents. But then I also have a group program, which is my mastermind.
Okay.
So I launched it at the beginning of 2017. It was called Ignite Your Au-mazing, and we did our first trial run. It was lovely. So I said, okay, how about I do it again? So we're going to do it again. We're getting ready to launch into September. We're telling our parents about it, letting them know that Ignite Au-mazing it is a virtual mastermind. We meet every week for 6 weeks. It's 4 weeks of us meeting in person, and then 2 weeks they'll meet with their buddy or accountability partner, and they will work on the goals and assessments and the techniques that I give them during the week, the times I'm meeting with them. And we meet in the nighttime after everyone puts their kids to sleep. We meet around 9:50, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. And I just help them into it, giving them all the tips and tools that I have, all the 20 years of experience. My being Zachary's mom. We meet and we work on communication techniques 1 week. Next week we'll meet on connection techniques, on compassion and coping skills. Mm-hmm. So at the end, as a result of them taking this program, they establish a way to connect with their child, and then most importantly, they establish a way how to connect with themselves. So it's called Ignite Your Au-mazing. So it's for the moms, it's for the parents. Dads are welcome also. And as they begin to find the system in which they learn how to deal, how to communicate, how to make their child better, then that's how they are able to deal and cope and reach out to many others in the world. And that's how we really spread the word of autism, acceptance, and inclusion in the world. Mm-hmm. I believe empowering our moms, empowering our dads, helping them to deal with their autism. As soon as they can deal with their autism, then they can go out there and help and educate the world and show the world what it looks like.
Right. Yeah, well, congratulations on your book. So that is a huge accomplishment right there. And then that led into the masterminds, which really sound like so much fun. So those are something that you have groups in person starting out. Would you mind sharing with our audience where you're located? I don't know if we touched upon that yet.
So I am located in Brooklyn, New York. The one-on-one, the in-person really happens mostly with my one-on-one sessions. The mastermind is all virtual. Everything it's via Skype or Zoom or whichever platform I use. I usually use Zoom.
Okay.
And it's virtual, so parents can join anywhere.
Great. Oh, that sounds neat. Okay, so you'll have a new group launching this September. So how can our audience find out more about the newest mastermind? And if they're interested in joining, how can they connect with you to do so?
Absolutely. So if you are ready to ignite your Au-mazing for 2017, if you are ready to step yourself up so that you can be a better communicator, a better connector, better in coping with autism, then you can always reach me and you can always learn more about it at www.dralishagriffith.com. That's DRALISHAGRIF as in Frank, ITH.com. And you'll see all about it on my website.
Excellent. All right. And Alisha, I was wondering if you might be able to share a story or an anecdote maybe from the first Masterminds group of something that either one of your clients learned or some aha moment that they had, maybe to give some insight into individuals who are thinking of joining, of what the group is really like.
Oh, man, I had so many amazing testimonials, but one that really sticks out in mind to me, because we have up our own private Facebook group. Whoever are students in there, we meet in a smaller group on Facebook, and this is where they would share their testimonies as they're going through it, as we're doing the exercises. And I had one parent, during the process, she was having challenges with communicating with her child in terms of him feeling good about himself. He was becoming at that age, he's around maybe 10, 11, around Zachary's age, where he was starting to notice how different he was in terms of how he did things and feeling the looks or little things that others were saying in his school setting. And she was just trying to figure out, how do I deal with it? How do I deal with it? And as we worked on communication techniques and as we worked on coping skills techniques inside that group, I remember after that session, she came in and she said, we did our mindset shifting exercises together. He went to school. He came home and he said, I told them, it doesn't matter what you say to me, I am amazing. And she was so proud of him because she felt that it took such a while for her to keep getting it into his head how great he was. And since we were working on Au-mazing, since that's the name of the book, and that's pretty much what we're doing, igniting their Au-mazing, we were doing techniques in which we were helping them, for them to have their child feel better about themselves. So that when they're dealing with the bullies of the world, I like to call them, that they'll look at them and say, okay, you may be like that, but I'm still special in this amazing way. And they can tell them all the great things that they can do. Like, I can line up 50 million trains all in one direction and make a pattern out of it that you can't do. So part of the program is finding out their unique strengths and the things that they memorize and the things that they can do that are just things that I can't do and you can't do. And then letting others know about it. Like, okay, I may not be able to do this one thing, like play tag in the game or in structured rules setting that you have, but this is what I can do. And some of the kids will go, wow, oh, that is pretty cool. So helping them to find their inner beauty, their inner amazingness, so they can tell the world about it. So yeah, that was great because she was just like, I just got every single dime I invested in this program, I got it back in that one thing when he came home with that smile on his face. He finally figured out how to deal with those that were not accepting him at school.
That's so great.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so it sounds like you're really building self-esteem and working on confidence, not only for the parents, but it really translates to the individuals on the spectrum too through your groups.
Absolutely. They get to ignite their amazingness within themselves because parents have to feel it first. We have to be able to radiate that we are equipped to deal with what's going on. We're equipped to deal with all of this. And then as we're equipped, we get to equip our children. Mm-hmm. And it's really genuine, because if it's not genuine and you're just saying it but you don't really mean it, they get it. But if it's coming from a genuine place that you started working on you, then you get to work on them being better.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's really an entire journey that the parents go on with you. And so over the course of a few weeks in the mastermind group, you're able to really implement some changes and guide the parents towards some growth. And then you also offer digital programs too, is that right?
Yes. I am super excited. I am now in the process. And everything I create is all based on people asking me, after I sit and I hear people asking me for, how can you help us with this or how can you help us with that? Then I put together a program to help them to do it where I don't have to be there. So Connecting to Autism is the digital program. It's going to be accessible in probably the middle of August. And it's basically helping parents learning how to expand their child's speech. So it's basically Connect to Autism, expanding my child's speech from sounds to words. And this comes from all my parents that are asking, how do I get my child to speak more? How do I get them to speak more? They're just making sounds. How do I get them to make more words, more sentences? How do I get them to communicate with me? So I give them all my tips, all my strategies, and just basically empower them to let them know that, yes, speech therapists, we work with your child maybe 2 or 3 times a week. But you're with your child the other time, the other 23 hours of the day or 23 and a half hours. How about I teach you some skills of what you can do more consistently, more playfully, and just interact it into your natural life, that you can use it and help your child to move to their next level of speech. Sounds, to then connecting those sounds together to words, and then words, moving it on to phrases, and then from phrases, moving it on to sentences. So just helping them know that it's pretty much happening. You just have to be able to see how you can make it happen and how you can do certain tips and techniques to help to make it happen.
Awesome. So those programs are August. Okay. And so how can our audience find out about those? So once you do launch the Connecting to Autism programs, will they be on your website?
Absolutely. Everything will be on my website. They will just be under programs. Most of them may actually have their own page as you get on. I'm going to make it super easy so that as soon as you get on the website, you see where you can click onto it. I don't even want you scrolling through everything until you're ready. Just go straight directly. If you're one of those parents that just needs to learn, how do I get my child to make more words? How do I get them to make more phrases? How do I get them to make more sounds? It'll give you some quick techniques on what you can do at home.
Okay, great. Thanks for sharing about that. And for those who are interested in connecting more with you, so you mentioned that you have a Facebook group for your mastermind group. Are there any other social media channels that people can go to connect with you?
Absolutely. So if you are an autism parent or grandparent, family member, just an autism supporter, we have our Facebook group called Accept Autism Fest. So go into Facebook and look into groups, and the name of it, all one word, is Accept Autism Fest. And I also can be followed on Dr. Alisha Griffth. I post a lot of motivational sayings, and I do Facebook Lives in there at least every week or every 2 weeks. And then I'm also on IG, on Instagram, under Dr. Alisha Griffth.
Okay.
Twitter at Dr. Ali Griffith, and then LinkedIn, I'm also Dr. Alisha Griffith.
I don't know if we're connected there yet. I'm going to have to find you on Twitter.
Yeah, Every social media that is there, except for Snapchat. I haven't got there yet, but all the others, it's pretty much either Dr. Alisha Griffith, and you will find me.
Totally. And I do have a question for you about live streaming, because that's something that I'm interested in and have been kind of debating back and forth in my mind about when I'll actually be ready to begin doing that. So when did you start, and kind of what was that whole process like for you? It sounds like you're doing it pretty regularly now.
Yeah. So before I even decided to concentrate with motivating autism families, I am just a motivator, period. As you can tell, I'm that go-getter, that igniter. If I start something, I finish it. So I started doing that just on a plain Dr. Alisha Griffith private group, and we then turned it over into powerful over 1,200 viewers, 1,200 members, and I started just going in there and sharing with my power moves. So the things that I were doing daily in my life, I call them power moves, because everything, even this conversation that we're having now, this is a power move. Why do I consider it a power move? And I can easily just pick up my phone and go live. It's because I get to share my voice. I get to share my genius with the world through me sitting in one spot, and it reaches countless of ears, hundreds or thousands of ears. That's a power move, because you're empowering people with your message. You're empowering them with the spark that's you, that's me. So I just started going on and Facebook Living in that group. And then I started doing it on my personal Facebook page. I would go on and just tell some things that I was doing in my life, because people kept asking me. And then as I began to speak, then I realized, this isn't so bad. I started with Periscope, and then I moved on to Facebook Live. And now in my Accept Autism Fest group, it's the perfect way where I come in on Mondays. I like to call that Make It Happen Mondays. Some people call it Motivational Mondays. I'm the Ignite Queen, so I'm like, make it happen. The week is ahead of you. So I jump in on Mondays, and I get in there, and I light them up with my fire, which is my energetic self. And I just share with them, look, the week is ahead of you. What are your goals? What do you plan on working on? How do you plan on making you better? All right, now what are your child's goals? What do you want to do with them this week? How do you plan on making them better in some part of their life? So just knowing that in their head and just getting them excited and giving them the tools, knowing that you got this, this is a brand new week. Whatever happened last week happens. It became just exciting for me, and then their responses also let me know that, okay, they like it, so I'll continue doing it. Now, here's the thing about live stream. I'm going to warn you.
Okay.
There are going to be times when you may do it and you may not get many viewers, okay, at that time as you're sharing.
That sounds tough.
It's okay. It's okay. The key is getting your message across. It doesn't matter whether it's one-to-one or one-to-many. Now, here's the cool thing about live stream. They may not be there live for it, but it'll still be accessible. So many will come in when they get a chance, and they'll look at it, and they may make their comments. Some may not make a comment. But the beautiful part about it is when you get that message from that person saying, I needed to hear that today. Like, you don't know how that made such a difference to my whatever was going on in their day. So when you're sitting there doubting whether to live stream or not, just know that it's not really for you. It's for those that are out there waiting for your message to help them get through whatever they're getting through.
Exactly.
Whether you make a mistake, whether you make a glitch, to whether your makeup was not done correctly, whether you're not in the best lighting. I've learned from my coach, Lisa Nichols, that just get on, just do it imperfectly your way. They actually love that more than it being orchestrated and makeup down and perfect lighting. They want to see the authentic you. Here's their chance.
Yeah. Oh, that's so true. Well, that's great. I think we're going to have to put a challenge out there for the Autism Quality of Life Facebook group on a smaller scale to see if anyone's interested in getting themselves out there and sharing either their professional journey towards innovating in some area of autism via live stream, or if parents want to share their journeys of their children transitioning into adulthood and how that's affected them. I think it's such an incredible medium. So thanks for sharing about how you've been able to incorporate live streaming into your own work.
Absolutely. And I love the way you just empowered your community, because with that, you're able to, that's how we really get autism acceptance out there, live stream. Like, the more you speak about it, the more people are aware of it. If you have this wonderful genius that's yourself and the things that you do, why keep it only within your smaller community? Now, one person sees it and they share it with some other people, and they share it with other people.
Uh-huh.
You can go from 5 views to 500 to 5,000 views on just one message. And you never know what that message is going to be. But the world gets to learn more about autism that way. The real way, the authentic way.
Yeah, so true. I mean, you never know how people are going to react to things. It can come out of your mouth one way with a certain intention, and then it can have such an impact that you weren't even planning.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's your power move.
Yeah, I get it now. Power move.
Ignite is getting yourself ready to do it. Power move is when you make it happen.
Well, you've definitely inspired me, so I know I need to step out of my comfort zone more than I have been, hiding behind this podcast, which is all well and good, but one of these days I'm going to go live and try something new, so maybe I can get some others to do it with me.
Yes, I'm empowering you and the rest of the Quality of Life group.
We are igniting the Autism Quality of Life community today. So thanks so much, Dr. Alisha, for coming on the show, for sharing your energy with us, and for really telling us about the exciting work that you're doing and where you're going from here. Before we sign off, do you have any final words for us, parting piece of guidance, or anything you'd like to share with us today?
Absolutely. I'm going to leave you with 3 things. The first one is shift. Make sure that you shift your mind into believing that everything is already inside of you. You're already gifted with your message, with your genius, with whatever it is that you are here to serve the world. Ignited. Number 2, get ignited. Understand your why. Know why is it that you're doing this? Is it for your family? Is it for those that are ready to receive your message? When you know your why, it helps you to stay on fire. And then number 3 is the power move. Go out there and just do it, like Nike says. Stop doubting yourself. Stop thinking that it has to be perfect. You have your own perfection. And to whatever the world is, it doesn't matter whatever they perceive it is. You know what your intentions are when you deliver for it. And your delivery is really for those that are ready, waiting to receive your gift. So shift, get ignited, and then go out there and make your power move so that we can get the beauty, the amazingness of autism out to the rest of the world.
Thank you so much. And so you have your book, Au-mazing Gift, available over at your website, some new mastermind programs coming up, and the digital programs, which are launching sometime in August. So this has really been a pleasure to be able to chat with you today. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you. My pleasure being here for you.
We'll definitely stay in touch. Thanks again for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed listening to Dr. Alisha as she shared her wisdom in learning to accept an autism diagnosis and find inspiration in the process. Remember to follow Dr. Alisha on social media and to check out her book, Au-mazing Gift, A Journey to Autism Acceptance. That's spelled AU-mazing Gift. Dr. Alisha's zest for life, her desire to impact others, and her ability to take risks to accomplish her goals is really an inspiration, and I hope her lessons have impacted you as well. If you enjoyed today's episode, please share with family, friends, and colleagues, and tune in for the next episode of Season 2. Thanks so much. We'll catch you next time.